are we back? Hopefully everything is online and working. Hopefully you can see me and hear me as well. Please do let me know in chat if one, that you're watching, and two, that you can see and hear me. It'll be lovely and helpful because I can't really see what I'm doing at the minute. Let me get my bearings. I thought I had all this set up, but not quite. We have watchers. Hi, Peter. Presuming you can see and hear us, I should really have tested this setup a bit more comprehensively than what I did this afternoon. Because if you've watched my live streams, since the start really, you may have noticed that the background's a little bit different. So I have actually swapped the entire office around. I'm now pointing in the completely opposite direction. I've also rebuilt the PC, new operating system, and pieced everything together. Excellent, Peter, thank you very much. Hi, Charlotte, good to see you as well. Right, you can see and hear us, that's excellent news. Yeah, so I've completely rebuilt the PC, and getting everything back installed and everything. Only kind of think I got it finished today, and that was all the streaming software that I use. So that was a bit tetchy. I did do a test earlier on, but I never actually watched it back to see if it works. So, Peter, I hope you're not swearing in that because it's got message retracted. You've been swearing in chat. Yeah, so if you're watching, chat is open. Please do converse in there. Be sociable. Be nice to each other. And don't comment about Brexit too much. Yes, there's the thingy on the back. Waiting on this vote to come in. See what all that about. No doubt she'll lose it. Hey ho, whatever. So anyways, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you all very much for joining me. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been nearly a month since the last one. And I've kind of almost forgotten what we do and where we come from and everything like that. So this is, I believe, episode 35. This is 30. So we're getting on a bit now. I should be better at these by now, but I'm still struggling at times. I just want to say thank you to my subscribers because today I hit 750 subscribers. So that's 2/3 of the way to 1,000. So 1,000 is my kind of aim to get to. Hopefully not too long into the year. Obviously making videos will surely help that, which I intend to do over the coming weeks because I've been a bit rubbish at that so far. So yeah, expect videos coming up, and in a few days' time. What day are we today? Tuesday. Come on. Tuesday. So Saturday will actually mark my year on YouTube properly. And I haven't got a video or anything sorted for that yet. I may or may not do it actually on that day. So yeah, there's more to come. I've got a few ideas of the next few videos. I just need some time to actually make them. And I also need to get out and photograph stuff. But one of the things that's stopping me at the minute is my car is broken. So I can't actually get out to take photographs unless it's on foot. So that's a bit of a pain in the backside at the minute. But there's irons in the fire about that. So hopefully we'll be a bit more mobile in the coming weeks. So yeah. Anyways, let's crack on because all I'm doing is whittering on, and I do kind of want to know when this result comes in, what's going on. There'll be a phone message comes through, so do excuse that interruption. So because I have barely shot anything over Christmas and New Year, and however long we're halfway through January now, I haven't actually got. I haven't got anything new to process. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to a day in October which at the time I felt was a terrible day for making ICM imagery, because it was so sunny and so bright that all my images were, very, very short fractions of a second, and having to really be quite extreme with movement to get some nice detail. And the only time I've actually looked to process anything was this morning, when I was looking for an image to set out as the thumbnail for the video. So that's the first image I'd made from this data. But it is a day that's been nagging at me for a few months now, because I've just never gone back into it to try to get anything from it. So tonight I'm going to look at possibly a couple of images, just do a few quick edits, just mash them together and see what happens, just to get back into the swing of it, because it's been a while and I haven't really done a lot of editing over the Christmas either, so I've kind of got to remind myself what it's all about. So that's the intentions for tonight. So all these images were from Bamborough, taken back on the 19th of October they were. And that actual day I filled an entire 16 gig card, so there was 650-ish, 642 images I made that day. And because the data was, the type of day was so bad for making these kind of images, that I actually only picked out 90 that I could use potentially, and I've been through that 90 again, and I could probably pick out maybe 15. So it wasn't a very productive kind of day on data production. No, we're still not. Are we getting lined up? See how big the margin is. Could be entertaining. Hi, Jose. Yes, apologies I haven't replied to your email yet. I will get back. I will get to that. Just with getting the computer and everything set out, I just haven't had time to address bits and pieces like that. But I will get back to you. So apologies for that, Jose. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right as well. So yeah, this did Bamborough. There is a few nice images, or potentially nice images, to be made from this. So we will have a look-see now, and I'll see if I can actually remember how to work this damn software, and then go from there. I'll get on with this. So there are a couple of images in here which I'm kind of thinking about. As you probably see from these kind of images, I've probably made images with the castle in the background, down in the middle, from the middle of the village. Some of these are potentially okay to work with, and I was actually thinking of working with this kind of composition, using the range of cottages on the right hand side of the image. You've got the castle, fairly central, everything focusing and leading towards it. Can you use that as the base composition, and it's just a case of blending some of these together to see if I can get a good result. That's what we're going to look at here. Out of these ones, I think I can probably disregard this one. 230 difference. Oh my god, that's not good news, is it? For a could be noisy. Entertaining politics there. Right, sorry, distracted. Important news going on. So definitely this one. I presume you can't all see me at the minute. You're probably watching me to escape Brexit, aren't you? That'll be the only other reason to be watching me. That one, this one, that one, I suppose that one. That one's a bit out there and a bit wild, and then this one is a potential, just a slightly different composition to work. Ooh, what's she saying? Resign! Resign, woman. Yeah, she's probably just yakking on about more. Sorry. Right then. So I'm going to combine these ones I've just marked with 2 stars. So these 5 images. I'm going to work with this one. And I'm just going to do my usual cleanup. So initially I'm just going to start with dust spot removal because my sensor's mucky. Ooh, Corbin must have put in the confidence motion. Biggest government defeat in history. That's not bad going. Right, back to editing. Sorry, getting distracted again. Just going to open these shadows out in here, so we've got a bit of data to work with. Just a few tweaks on the sliders. Like all of these tweaks are very much, very small, movements one way or the other. Shadow, bringing out the shadows is a bit more because things can get pretty dark very, very quickly. That's just to give as much chance as possible to retaining some detail from there. And the detail was, yeah, I did do the ISO noise reduction, that's fine. Excuse me. Just gonna warm this up a bit because that's what I usually do. Use the hue controls just to adjust the colour of the castle there, to redden it up a bit. Right, it's a reasonable starting point, and obviously to maneuver, we'll put can't even talk. I'm going to sync all these together so they've all got the same settings. Everything's selected there, so including all the dust spot removal bits. So now everything should be kind of uniform. And just this initial one, which was a bit dark, I will lighten this one a touch to match. Just by eye. I'm not going for them matching total exposures like I usually do. And I think I was pretty much ready to chuck all this into Photoshop. So just edit in and then open excuse me, open layers in Photoshop. This will churn away for a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple of minutes. Hopefully no more than about 30 seconds. Is it going to put the motion in then? God, that politics to blab on about now. I'll probably get done for a copyright strike with having the sound on. Not sure if you can pick that up anyway. So everybody out there in chatland, all right. Please do say hello if you're out there and still watching and not watching the telly. Oh, we all loaded up. Right. Usual thing, just going to blend all these together. Also, since the last live stream, I've updated Photoshop to the very latest version, because I think I was still using the 2018 last time. I think this is the 2019 version. And they've now, for the blend modes drop down, this list here, as you hover over, it will now preview what the actual blend mode will do. But what I used to do was just select blend mode and then just randomly use the scroll wheel on the mouse and it would change it. But now you've got to actually hover over that tiny little box to scroll over it, which is a little bit annoying because, you know, I'm set in my ways. I did put a no confidence motion in. More drama. Right then, just have to go through these blend modes, see if there's anything nice. I mean, that multiply one was very nice up on the in the you know, skyways. Obviously there's nothing in the foreground because it's just dark, but there's potential there. Some nice tones up there straight away. And lighting's going to be a bit of a nightmare, I think. See what overlay and soft light does, because they're usually they're not going to do much. I think multiply might be where I win at, because it's very, very nice up in the top part of the image, in the skyline, and maybe just do some gradient filter work. You know, using masks to lighten this foreground significantly, obviously. So I think we will start. It's easiest start removing these layers as a lot more comes back into the foreground. So really, what we could do is just, let's put that on there. A new mask. Slip that on there. Gradient filter. Do it the other way on would help. Something like that. We'll activate all them. Oh, I've done them. Andy, you're an idiot. I didn't have the mask selected there. Sorry. I'm a doofus. And I've done the same thing again. There we go. Actually, I could do it being a little bit higher. That's a bit softer there. Switch these layers on. I'm just going to copy the same layer mask onto all those, you know, bottom layers, and then just start gradually working some of these back out. So just reduce the opacity of some of these, and this will lighten this middle area where the gradient filter you know, was at its weakest, because then you get that distinct line which you can probably see straight across here. Excuse me. Just to reduce some of these. Lovely jubbly. This one, just on the gradient mask, and you'll notice I've got for the gradient, I've got all multiply So we'll actually let you do two or more gradients and not just the singular one had this been set to normal up here. So have that on multiply and you can do several gradients. And that's the wrong way around. I still always get that the wrong way around. That's just lightening that corner up a bit more. Grand. Yeah, that's fine. And then this way, when you looking at the castle in the distance there, and it is just a hint of what it actually of its shape and almost brush texture. That's what we're looking for. Well, that's what will give us the best results. I think on here, I'm just going to paint using the eraser or even the paint brush there. I think it's fairly soft. I'm going to reduce the opacity a bit. I'm going to paint out just to take that edge off there, just so it's not too light. There we go. It's all about just getting that initial image. Like almost do all the blending together to make an image which you would be quite happy with. The more I've done this, the more I've realised that if I've got a good starting image, which this is pretty much there, and then I do all my other extra stuff, that's where you can make some really, really good and effective work. In theory, fingers crossed this works. You'll see. Hopefully I don't know whether you can hear it or not, Tina. I can just about hear it. Evening, Alan. Happy New Year to you. Haven't seen you in a while. So you've been out shooting on the coast with Callum, getting some lovely wave and sunrise and sunset sunrise locations, wasn't it? Very nice. So yeah, where were we? Well, we're getting pretty much on with this, weren't we? Right. Pretty much there. I'm looking at the other screen and the colour looks terrible, so no doubt on YouTube the colour looks terrible as well. That's something else that went bloody wrong since I changed the operating system. My Spider colour profiler decided it doesn't want to work with Windows 10, so I had to find, well, the software anyway. So I had to use an open source one, which took 2 hours to calibrate, and I'm still not convinced. But anyways, it might be fine. I haven't tried printing anything since, so it might be bang on, but I don't know. Everything whites still feel quite blue, but that might just be my eyes. I don't know. Right, so I think we're pretty much there, are we? I'm just going to duplicate that layer. And this area, just on the top of the castle here, I'm just going to mask some of that dark area back in. Then we click Alt and the mask tool there, and get the eraser, bring that down a bit, and that just gives you a little bit more. Shut up, phone. Bricks a deal up in flames. Go away. Notifications. News. So that should give you just a little bit more definition of the keep of the castle up on the skyline there. So I think at this point we are pretty much ready to go. So we'll just launch all this into Analog Efex Pro. Yeah, Alan, once I'm mobile again, which hopefully shouldn't be too long, I will give you a shout. Of course, you'll be back at work now, so that rules out midweek. But yeah, I'll be on the go again with my camera. So good to catch up with you, sir. Hopefully, been doing some of that Astro stuff with that fancy new tripod thing, type whatever thing it is. Brexit fun's finished now, I think. So as per usual, we've got me presets all loaded up on the side. The presets, of course, which you can buy. You can buy Collection 1 in the link, from the link below. I am working on a Collection 2, which at the moment are only given away to anybody that takes a one-to-one session with us. So if you're desperate for extra presets, then come on a one-to-one with us. So these are looking quite good and not looking quite dark, which kind of suits the mood today. Or is the mood just Brexit confusion? Who knows? Something like that with a nice dark one there. Yeah, God knows what the Europeans think of us now. Let's just have another vote on it. Easiest thing to do. Bring that up a touch. It's a bit soft around here, isn't it? The little preview looked better. Now it's on the big screen, it doesn't look so good. And vignette. That's actually lightening it. We want to darken it. Look at the drama now, around there. I'm going to go back to looking through these damn lights again. They are further back now since I rearranged, but they're still quite bright and in your face, especially when working on dark images. So, try some different colours. It's not often I use that colour anymore, but this time it looks quite nice and aged, like an aged painting. Well, it does on my monitor anyway. You know, this area here looks pretty nice. Keep that down. Add a bit more brightness up there. And that's actually starting to look like the sun shining through on the top of the castle there. Looking quite nice. It's just unfortunate we've got quite a bit of darkness down here. But then again, that's kind of always seems to be the way I work, is that there's just little areas that I like, and then it doesn't really work the rest of it. In this area, you see, when I disengage that, looks beautiful in there. You know, nice rich orange and a bit of yellow in the like, I almost feel like an oil paint kind of mucky kind of sky. But is the rest of it too dark, or am I just getting too obsessed about things being too dark and not being able to print them? Because some of these would look like mud if I printed them. One thing I didn't do was play around with the double exposure module. Just if moving this around helps or doesn't help. One thing it does kind of reveal is the edge of this strong line is kind of dominates. But does that give us that lead in? Turn it upside down so you got happens, see if that lighten. Ooh, could we get away something like so? Now it keeps that nice deep area, deep red, orange. gain area. If that didn't affect that so badly, I would be happier. Spin it around until I'm happy. You can tell these live streams are never planned because it's all very random. And that's going to be a subject of another video because the client I had last Tuesday, he thoroughly enjoyed himself. But I might have shocked him. Maybe. And he said in a follow-up email that my craft is anarchic and without rules. Which sounds like my life, to be honest. And that's probably the beauty of this style, is there is no rules, you just do as you want. That's how photography should be as well. I think I'm starting to like this. Do I go positive on the... Cause I would like to be able to lighten it up and give myself an option to potentially use this. So by going positive with the lens vignette rather than negative, I'm removing all those dead muddy colours up here, and then that way when I come to print it, I'm not having to crop down to that little box in the middle. So it does give me options, and then I can work on darkening maybe the foreground in the next stage. I think it's looking better there now. Red, no. I don't want to play around with the colour too much because I don't want to lose my place of where I was. Because at the minute it's looking, it's looking pretty much how I imagined it. I think I just need to darken this foreground a bit. So I think we'll do that. I'll just confirm this in Analog Effects Pro and we'll head back into Photoshop and just see what we can actually do. Potentially actually in Photoshop for a change. I don't often use it. It's starting to go a bit green now here in this corner. Come here, let me grab. Yeah, I know what all the analysis is saying. That. And then I am actually going to just slap on a gradient filter. I'll lighten up the top again. And then paint in just to make sure it's all the way. Yeah, just make sure I was doing the right bit. Increase the size of that. Paint. Get out the way panel. There, something like that. That's looking nice. And I'm just going to do some colour tweaks, and I'm going to go into Viveza for that. How long have we been going? 35 minutes. Do you talk to yourself when you do this type of stuff, Peter? I tend not to talk to myself, but as I have viewers, it'd be a bit of a very boring stream if I just sat in silence. So in Viveza, I obviously use Viveza quite a lot, and it's mainly because I can adjust the hue very nice on just one slider. And And there's me using my hands to talk again. So you can do some good, nice, big universal changes just with one slider. Matt Hancock, don't like him. Looks smarmy. Put some sliders here just to see if I can get things going right. I'm going to add in a bit of structure, but I don't know whether I do it universally or really just, you know, highlighting the castle again. I might just use one of the drop viewpoint things. I saw the forecast, Alan. Does that mean you'd be heading straight up to Glencoe if it snowed? Or have you got enough shots of Glencoe in the snow? Or Loch Annalise or whatever it's called? Wow, I didn't do much. I think we've got a nice colour scheme there. I don't want to knack it too much. Although looking at my stream video, looks terrible on there, but believe me, on my screen it looks quite nice. And that's the important one, provided my screen is right. It better be after calibrating for 2 hours. What a waste of electric. Right, I think that blotch in the middle isn't too bad. I'm trying to get away from these marks in the that's not too bad here. Should get it. I'm thinking printing wise, will that turn into just a mud patch when I come to print it? Right, we've got a little bit of patch of blue there, so it is kind of skylight, that's good. I was going to add in a bit of structure actually at that point there, wasn't I? Just to see if it'll give it a bit more definition. Bit of brightness. Just to highlight it. Yeah, looking good. I'm quite happy with that. Right, we'll okay that and head that back into Photoshop. Yeah, I don't think I'm actually going to get that much snow, to be honest, Alan. But going by next week, it's like, well, I'm saying, looks like wet stuff. It's like one cloud with one snowflake. So we'll see. It'll come to out. We'll get it all at the end of February again. We'll be like Austria, like 10 foot of snow for a week, and it'll be gone. Right then, and I think I'm quite happy with that. And we'll just save this out, and that'll send it back into Lightroom. Save. And it'll probably take a little while. So, what do I usually do here? This is when I get my adverts out, isn't it? So, if you haven't already bought my presets for Analog Effects Pro, then you can get them from this address or from the link in the description below. Just gives you a head start on making similar images, you know, providing you've started with the same starting points. Lots and lots of options in there. It just gives you 27 good starting points to make your own images from, just by using sliders and rotating that double exposure around. So if you're interested in any of them, then do check out the link below if you haven't got them already. You like the picture, Alan? I hope you mean it. Are you? Or the devastation on the telly. Right, that's back into, that should be back in the Lightroom. There we go. Give that 3 stars so I can remember where it is. I'm just going to create a virtual copy. I'm going to try some crops. So obviously we want something for Instagram, so square crop and something like that is pretty instantaneous. Maybe even try a 4x5. The keystroke to turn that around is X, by the way. You can also do it by moving these around, but hitting X will swap them around. It's even quicker. So I could do a portrait style like that. Looks quite effective. Create another one. We'll make that square crop. Expand that out. There we go. Square crop. Create another one. Let's go for a panoramic style 2x1. Something like that, maybe. Or is it a bit too thin? I'm thinking standardising stuff because I know me exhibitions. I'm only gonna be using 3 different size crops. So this one, I'd like more of that sky in. I could maybe paint in a little bit more blue up there. Don't know. That looks not bad. Yep, picture. Thank you, Alan. Really kindly set. Yeah, quite like that. I don't like the version I'm looking at on my other monitor that's being streamed out, but on my screen it looks quite good. So hopefully it's coming through okay on your screen. If not, it'll be on probably Instagram later, or Twitter, or whatever. All those kind of things. Yeah, quite happy with that. Right, that's another. I lied to all my clients from that day. Said the conditions were crap. I would never get anything from them. There you go. I actually did. So, do I go for something similar? That's the one we used. Library view. It's quite similar, but further back, and I believe you've got all this light streaks from the parked cars down that street. Quite annoying. It's very little washed out. Kind of different view of Barmera Castle, one that you don't normally see because all the tourists and everybody sees it as they either coming into the village from inland, or from the beach looking north, and so this is one of the side roads. You see it a bit more square on. It gives it a little different kind of look. So, do I have a quick butchers at some of these? Do I not? There's nothing really jumping out on us. What I might do, I think I might just try to blend some of these church ones together very quickly. So maybe it's this one, and then that one. There's enough detail in there. There's maybe a bit too much detail, to be honest. Just gonna blend these together and see if something comes about or not. So I'm just gonna clean this image up as well. Dust spots central. And now I've kind of decided I'm gonna keep on using the Nikon. I think I'll better buy some sensor clean wipes. Actually clean my sensor. So, right, that's that one cleaned out. Lens corrections. I think what we'll go fairly extreme on the colour. No, he's not that extreme. Maybe just stick to that. Add in quite a bit of contrast. Bring the highlights down to something about there. Open the shadows out. Just kind of open that out a little bit. Lower the clarity a bit just to enhance that softer brush kind of feel. Just a couple just to give it a bit more pop. And hue, I think we'll just try to redden this church up a bit. About there, that'll do. Right. Decent starting point, and then we'll just apply to those three. Sync all those settings across. Thank you, Peter. I'll post it on Instagram later, so you can have a proper look at it. But I was quite pleased with that previous one. Oops, go away. Right, what am I doing? Open it in Photoshop. Go away. Open all those up. Blah 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 blah. Still arguing always. Did I load the wrong one up? I think I did. Should have been that one I went for. Not to worry. And previous one. Computer might have a new operating system on it, but it is still slow. Alright, edit in Photoshop. This is an extra layer. Oh, for God's sake, you're slow there. Right, close that old one down. Drag this one into that one. There we go. Shut that one down. Now, make sure I've got, Why did I load them two distant ones up? Idiot. I think I've still loaded up the wrong ones. Reet! I should have stopped after one image. I picked the wrong ones. I don't think that one's going to add anything to it, so we'll go for a 2-image blend. Bin them two. I'm a dopey bugger at times. So I can play with blend modes. Lighten, it gives it a funny kind of look, bit of detail there. Just gonna maneuver that into place. I like the randomness of this. Crop it down. I'm just going to crop to that edge, which you can see there. Crop in the bottom, so it's level that one. Confirm that. And I'm going to add in some curves adjustment. I'm going to lighten that up. Open that out. Blah 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 blah. Thoughts, random thoughts. What am I going to do? Color adjustment, I think. Has my stream died by any chance? Oh no.
Did I go offline there for a second? Did everything freeze? Or did I carry on? Just everything seemed to stop. That was all. Right. Colour change. I'm gonna go redder. Over there. Warm things up a bit. Not that, like pink that. Something like that. That'll do. I'm good. I did just came up there was nobody watching for a second there, so I wasn't sure if something had gone wrong or just everything had stopped streaming. That's alright. We're still there. Good. Right. Shouldn't be take long because I don't think this one's going to work. Do a quick look on through the presets of analog. See what happens. Then I can sit and watch the news for the rest of the night. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's so slow. The hard drive starting to spin. Oh yeah, not even using it. Everything's on an SSD. Excuse me. Right. Previews aren't looking that helpful. Where's me Hedgley one? There we go, that one. Yeah, I need to turn them upside down, don't I? Get run that way. Yeah, I think I can kind of safely see this one's not going to work. Change the priority. Oh, all that way. Randomness, just move things around until something nice happens. Maybe something like that. I think it's just not going to come to anything really. God, what's Boris going to say? Drop the contrast. There. There. Extract detail. Yeah, that one looks nice, warm cast to it. Did I use it? I used the same preset in the last one. Obviously, have my favourites. They're very yellow, isn't it? I think this one isn't working. If you weren't all watching, I would have stopped working on this before now. That's for certain. I don't think there's any salvage in this one. I don't think. I'll stick it on this, and then what I will do, I'll try a hue adjustment just to see what it's going to be like. Because we're coming up to the hour, so they might as well not go much further. Right, there's for the hue adjustment. A bit extreme. Contrasts. Drop the saturation. Quite like it saturated. It's just a little bit yellow. The fine line between yellow and pink, it's aqua to work with. No, I don't think this is going to do anything. So, abandon it. Not going to work. But at least we got the first one out. The first one I did like. First one you will see again for sure, wherever it is. That one. Keep your eye on social media for that one coming up soon. Unless I sleep on it and then by tomorrow I don't like it. You never know. Might happen that way. So the second one didn't work out, but it was always going to be a rush one. Rush job anyway. First one kind of worked. Got some nice crops out of it as well. That's what I like to do. Get as much as I can out of one image. So got some few results there. So that works. That's good. Right then. I think that'll do for tonight. A decent one to get back into the swing of these live streams. So I'll be back next Tuesday, 7:30 as normal. Hopefully there won't be more Brexit crap on the telly, so I can actually have that turned off, and that'll do. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying your new year so far. I'm not. I'll be alright once I get the car back going again though. I will do, Peter. I will do. It's on the plans. It might be up tonight. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching again. It's good to have you back. It's good to be back doing these after my, is it 3-4 week break? Something like that anyway. Definitely 3 weeks anyway. So I've enjoyed getting back into it. That's it. Thank you very much for subscribing as well. For those that do, I hit the 750 subscriber mark, which I'm so pleased about. So we're creeping our way up, which is good, and it helps me out and gives me the drive to go out and keep on doing these and do more videos as well. So yeah, if you don't already, then do please, add me on these things as well, the Twitters and the Instagrams at Andrew S. Gray. Subscribe to YouTube if you're not already, and do the bell notification thing as well, because that means I think you get a notification if I start a live stream or if I post a new video. You get all that, so do hit that as well, and leave a comment if you've enjoyed it. Once the stream's done, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, yes, next Tuesday. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Where's the bloody right button?
End screen, that's one.